Did you know that something as simple as your bedtime snack could be silently putting your life at risk, especially after the age of 65? It sounds dramatic, maybe even exaggerated, until you hear the heartbreaking stories. Walter, a healthy and active 78-year-old from Michigan, walked 2 miles every morning. He kept up with his doctor appointments. He thought he was doing everything right. But one night he went to bed after his usual snack, something he had eaten for years. The next morning his daughter found him unresponsive. A fatal heart attack had struck while he slept. The culprit? A processed meat snack that caused inflammation and cardiovascular stress at the worst possible time, during deep sleep. He's not alone. Thousands of seniors each year unknowingly put their hearts at risk simply by eating the wrong foods in the evening. Processed cheese, sugary desserts, salty snacks, even a glass of wine or a piece of chocolate. These seemingly innocent choices can trigger midnight spikes in blood pressure, cause oxygen levels to drop, and send your heart into overdrive when your body should be resting. Shocking. It's devastating. But it's also preventable. This isn't about fear. It's about awareness. About making small, life-saving changes before it's too late. No one should have to lose a parent, a spouse, or a grandparent over something as avoidable as a nighttime snack. If you or someone you love is over 65, please, take a closer look at what's on the plate before bed. It might seem harmless, until it isn't. Sometimes, the simplest switch, like trading crackers and salami for a banana or herbal tea, could be the very thing that lets you wake up tomorrow. 8 foods older adults should avoid before bed. 1. Processed cheese and milk high in salt. You wouldn't think a slice of cheese could steal a life, but it nearly did. Elizabeth, a 67-year-old retired teacher from Oregon, was known for her calm nights and quiet routines. Her evening treat? A handful of crackers with processed cheese while watching her favorite TV show. It felt innocent, comforting, familiar. But then came the gasping. The choking sensation that yanked her from sleep at 2 a.m., heart racing, lungs heavy like stone. Her doctors were baffled, until they asked what she ate before bed. What they discovered was shocking. The sodium-packed cheese she loved was causing fluid to build up in her lungs while she slept. Her blood pressure spiked silently in the night. Her heart was under attack and she had no idea. It's something millions of seniors do without thinking, snacking on processed cheese before bed. But cardiologists warn, this small habit could turn deadly. High-sodium dairy doesn't just disrupt your sleep, it forces your heart to fight when it should be resting. During the vulnerable overnight hours, when the body's natural blood pressure regulation slows down, these foods can trigger hypertensive episodes, arrhythmias, and in some cases, fatal heart attacks. It's terrifying. And it's entirely preventable. Since giving up her cheese and cracker routine, Elizabeth sleeps through the night. No more wheezing, no more fear. All it took was a switch to low-sodium alternatives like unsalted nuts or fresh mozzarella. So before you unwrap that cheese slice tonight, ask yourself, is it really worth the risk? Sometimes, the smallest decisions can change the course of your life, or save it. Please don't let a bedtime snack be the reason someone doesn't wake up tomorrow. 2. Sweet cereals and sugary desserts. It started as a sweet little habit, nothing major. Just a bowl of cereal before bed. Sometimes a cookie or two. For 71-year-old Raymond from Florida, it was a comforting ritual. Something to wind down the day. But what he didn't know was that every night, while he slept, his heart was fighting to survive. Raymond had no history of heart disease. He walked regularly, kept up with doctor visits, and watched his diet, mostly. But when his doctor suggested a continuous glucose monitor, what they found was terrifying. His blood sugar would skyrocket right after his evening snack, and then plummet to dangerously low levels around 3 a.m. His heart was under extreme stress during his deepest sleep, silently straining, trying to stabilize what his body couldn't. I had no idea, Raymond said, stunned. I thought I was being harmless. Turns out I was gambling with my life. This is the hidden danger of sugary foods before bed, especially for seniors over 65. Sweetened cereals, cookies, cakes, even that innocent scoop of ice cream, all of them can trigger massive blood sugar swings. And during the night, when your body should be resting and healing, these spikes and crashes can cause palpitations, irregular heart rhythms, and in worst cases, sudden cardiac events. But the good news? It's a habit you can change starting tonight. Instead of sugar-laced snacks, try a sliced apple with a spoonful of almond butter. It's gentle on your blood sugar and supports stable energy through the night. No dessert is worth dying for. And no midnight craving should come at the cost of your heartbeat. Make the switch. Protect your heart. Because sometimes, it's the sweetest things that hurt us the most. 3. Processed meats, bacon, salami, sausages, etc. Most dangerous. Thomas never thought a few slices of salami could take his life. He was 78, sharp as ever, still joked with his grandkids, still stayed up late to catch the evening news. And almost every night he'd fix himself a small snack, crackers and his favorite deli meat. Nothing fancy. Nothing he thought twice about. But one morning Thomas didn't wake up. His wife found him still in bed, peacefully gone. The autopsy revealed something heartbreaking. Elevated nitrate levels from the processed meats he'd eaten hours before bed had triggered a fatal heart attack in his sleep. His family was stunned. He was fine the night before, they kept saying. How could a simple snack do this? Here's how. Processed meats like bacon, salami, hot dogs, and deli cuts are packed with sodium nitrates, preservatives that turn toxic in the body. During sleep, when the body's defenses slow down, those compounds create a perfect storm. Inflammation, oxidative stress, blood pressure spikes, all targeting the heart at its most vulnerable. It's chilling. It's preventable. And it's happening in homes across America, every single night. Thomas isn't just a story. He's a warning. A reminder that what feels harmless could be deadly. That what's sitting in your fridge right now might be putting someone you love in danger. If you crave protein before bed, go for a hard-boiled egg or a few bites of plain baked chicken. It's not about fear, it's about love. It's about choosing life over convenience. Because no late-night craving is worth not waking up tomorrow. Please, if you're over 65, or someone you love is, look at what's on the plate tonight. What you swap out could be the very thing that saves a heartbeat. 4. Spicy foods, chili, strong spices. Patricia loved her spicy food. Tacos with a kick, hot sauce on everything. She said it made her feel alive. But one night it nearly took her life. At 2 a.m. she woke up gasping. Chest tight, heart pounding, drenched in sweat. Her husband thought she was having a heart attack, and so did the paramedics. The ER doctors ran tests, but her heart hadn't failed, not yet. It was a severe case of acid reflux. But here's the terrifying part, it could have been a heart attack. And next time it might be. What triggered it? The spicy dinner she'd eaten just hours before bed. Doctors now understand that spicy foods, especially when eaten close to bedtime, can set off a dangerous chain reaction in seniors. They irritate the stomach lining, cause acid to rise, and stimulate the vagus nerve, which can send mixed signals to the heart. The result? Chest pain, irregular heartbeat, and in some cases real cardiac events that strike while you sleep. It sounds dramatic, until you're the one waking up at 2 a.m. thinking it's your last breath. Patricia had no idea her love of heat could lead to a hospital visit. But since cutting out spicy meals after sunset, she's sleeping peacefully, and so is her heart. If you or someone you love is over 65, think twice before reaching for the chili flakes or that bottle of hot sauce at dinner. Choose calming herbs like basil or oregano instead. Your taste buds might miss the fire, but your heart will thank you. Sometimes the danger isn't in what you feel, but in what you don't. Don't let flavor become a fatal mistake. 5. Alcoholic beverages, wine, beer. For Howard, that glass of wine before bed felt like a reward, a peaceful way to end the day. He'd sip slowly in his favorite chair, lights low, music soft. At 73, it was part of his nightly ritual. He believed it helped him relax. But what it really did was quietly push his heart to the edge. During a routine sleep study, doctors discovered something alarming. On nights he drank alcohol, Howard's oxygen levels dropped sharply, again and again throughout the night. His heart was working overtime just to keep him breathing. It shocked me, he said. I thought wine helped me sleep. I didn't know it was slowly wearing out my heart. Here's what most people don't realize. Alcohol relaxes the throat muscles, which can partially block airways during sleep. This leads to a drop in oxygen saturation, especially dangerous for seniors. The result? Increased risk of strokes, irregular heartbeat, and even sudden death in the middle of the night. It's terrifying because it's so common, so quiet, so easy to overlook. But it's not too late to change. Howard replaced his wine with tart cherry juice, something natural, gentle, and heart-friendly. Within a week, his sleep improved. No more gasping, no more dangerous dips in oxygen. Just rest. Real rest. If you or someone you love is over 65, take a moment tonight to rethink that nightcap. What feels relaxing now might be putting silent strain on the very thing keeping you alive, your heart. Is one more drink worth the risk of not waking up? Choose peace over pressure. Choose sleep that heals, not sleep that hides danger. 6. Caffeinated foods, coffee, dark chocolate. Meredith never saw it coming. Every night, like clockwork, she'd wake up at 2 a.m., heart pounding, chest fluttering, panic creeping in like a wave. She thought it was anxiety, maybe aging, maybe something she just had to live with. But the truth? It was hiding in her favorite dessert. Just one square of dark chocolate after dinner, that was her treat. Her moment of indulgence. What she didn't realize was that even that small dose of caffeine was sabotaging her heart in the dead of night. When her doctor finally connected the dots, the shock was real. Caffeine, even 6 hours before bed, can stay active in the bloodstream for up to half the night, especially in seniors. It raises blood pressure, disrupts heart rate, and prevents the body from entering deep, healing sleep. "I thought chocolate helped me unwind," Meredith said. "Turns out, it was waking my heart up when it should have been resting." Research shows that caffeine's half-life means 50% of it can still be in your system hours after you've stopped tasting it. And for people over 65 whose systems metabolize substances more slowly, the effects can be even more dramatic and dangerous. But here's the good news. Meredith made one small change. She swapped her chocolate square for a banana and a cup of herbal tea. Within days, the nighttime palpitations stopped. Her sleep deepened. And for the first time in weeks, she woke up feeling truly rested. So ask yourself tonight, is that cup of coffee after dinner or that tiny piece of dark chocolate really worth the cost? Don't let something so small steal your peace or your heartbeat. Because sometimes, it's not the big things that break us, it's the ones we never think to question. 7. Deep-fried foods high in fat. Gregory had never had a heart problem in his life. At 69, he felt strong, kept active, and enjoyed a good meal, especially fried chicken. It was his comfort food, his favorite dinner, especially on quiet evenings when he craved something familiar. But one night, that simple pleasure nearly became his final meal. He had fried chicken for dinner just like he had many times before. He felt fine, went to bed, and closed his eyes like it was any other night. But around midnight, his chest seized up. He couldn't breathe. His wife called 911 as he clutched his chest, barely conscious. Gregory had suffered a heart attack in his sleep. At the hospital, his cardiologist explained something he'd never heard before. Greasy, high-fat fried foods can cause a surge in inflammation and blood lipids during sleep, especially dangerous for older adults. While the body should be repairing itself, it's instead flooded with stress and strain from the heavy meal. The timing, the fat content, the body's lowered nighttime defenses, it was a perfect storm. And it happens more often than people realize. Gregory was lucky. He survived. But he'll never forget the look on his wife's face, or the fear of not seeing his grandkids again. Now, no more fried dinners. He chooses baked or steamed meals. If he craves something crunchy, he reaches for air-popped popcorn with no added salt. It's not about giving up joy, it's about choosing life. So tonight, take a second look at your dinner plate. That crispy, golden bite might be more dangerous than it seems. Because the truth is, some heart attacks don't come with a warning. They come with dinner. And they show up in your sleep. 8. Salty packaged foods, snacks, pretzels, chips. Deborah thought her late-night snack was harmless. At 75, she had her routine. A small handful of crackers while watching her favorite mystery show before bed. It wasn't much, just a few bites of something salty and satisfying. But behind the comfort was a danger she never saw coming. During a routine checkup, her doctor suggested nighttime blood pressure monitoring. The results left them both stunned. Between 2 and 4 a.m., Deborah's blood pressure spiked to stroke-level highs, every single night. She hadn't felt a thing. No symptoms. No warning signs. Just silent risk creeping in while she slept. The cause? Those innocent-looking packaged crackers. High-sodium snacks like chips, pretzels, and salted crackers can send blood pressure soaring, especially in older adults whose systems are more sensitive to sodium. And the problem gets worse at night. As the body's natural regulation slows during sleep, that extra salt can push your heart and blood vessels into overdrive. Deborah was lucky. They caught it in time. She swapped her salty snacks for fresh cucumber slices and unsalted popcorn. Within days, her nighttime readings returned to normal. Her doctor called it a simple fix that probably saved your life. It's shocking, isn't it? That something so ordinary, so easy to overlook, could quietly put you at risk of a stroke or heart attack while you sleep. So before you grab that bag of chips tonight, ask yourself, is convenience worth the cost? Because you won't feel your blood pressure climbing. You won't hear your arteries straining. But your heart knows. Your body knows. And sometimes the most dangerous things aren't what we fear, but what we trust without question. Make the switch tonight. Choose life over habit. You deserve to wake up tomorrow, safe, strong, and well. As we age, our bodies become more vulnerable, especially during the quiet hours of sleep. What we eat before bed can either help us rest deeply or silently put our hearts in danger. If you're over 65, or caring for someone who is, here are life-saving shifts you can make starting tonight. First, avoid processed and salty foods like packaged snacks, bacon, or deli meats. These are loaded with sodium and preservatives that raise blood pressure and increase inflammation while you sleep. Swap them for fresh alternatives like unsalted nuts, boiled eggs, or sliced cucumber. Second, cut out sugary cereals, cookies, and desserts before bed. These trigger blood sugar spikes and crashes that put stress on your heart overnight. Instead, choose an apple with almond butter or a banana, gentle on blood sugar, calming for your system. Third, say no to caffeine and alcohol in the evening. They may seem relaxing, but they quietly disrupt sleep, oxygen levels, and heart rhythm. Replace that glass of wine with herbal tea like chamomile or tart cherry juice. Your body will rest easier and your heart will too. Lastly, be mindful of spicy and greasy foods. They can cause acid reflux, mimic heart attack symptoms, and increase cardiovascular stress. Choose light, non-irritating meals, baked, not fried, and eat dinner at least 3 hours before bed. Small changes. Simple swaps. But they can mean the difference between waking up tomorrow or not. Protect your heart. Honor your body. And remember, restful sleep begins with the choices you make before your head even hits the pillow. You deserve to age in peace, not in fear. Start tonight.